What's up, guys? I decided that it was time to make a video about a mall that wasn't struggling, that was actually flourishing in modern times. This is Summit Mall. This is the third mall that I've covered here in the Akron area. However, it is the oldest mall in Akron. It was the first mall to open just a little bit before Chapel Hill did. I think it opened like 2 months before Chapel Hill did. So let's go ahead and go inside. You enter into the food court. I don't think there's any. Well, there might be one empty space in there, but I mean it's full. There's a Sbarro and I think there's a Charlie's. There's a Andy Ann's and a Dairy Queen. There's a Greek restaurant in there, which is funny because I used to work at this restaurant in the mall. It was a Greek restaurant, but it wasn't that one. But I worked in this mall like 10 years ago. It was actually while they were doing the remodel that redid the food court and the main entranceway. And it was actually a pretty cool time to work there because, you know, I met a lot of cool people. A lot was changing there. Somehow this mall managed to stay not only in business, but actually, you know, do pretty well. And I mean, this was on, I think, a Saturday or a Sunday when we went, and it was busy. I mean, there's a ton of people there, and I don't know, it's pretty impressive. Summit Mall is a one-story, 770,000 square foot mall located at 3265 West Market Street in the Akron suburb of Farallon. The mailing address of the mall is in Akron, however, the mall is actually located in Farallon. Summit Mall comprises more than 120 stores and a food court. The anchor stores are one Macy's and two Dillard's locations. The two Dillard's locations, one is menswear and housewares, and the other one is just women's clothing. Summit Mall opened October 28th of 1965. It was developed by Edward J. DeBartolo Sr. It's managed by the Simon Property Group, and it's Akron's oldest mall. I think I said that in the beginning. A little history before we get to the Dillard's. That is, I think this is the Dillard's where it's just women's clothes that we're coming up to. So the Hale Brothers Company was originally an anchor. After their 1982 shutdown, their location was transferred to Higbee's, which operated the store until it was taken over by Dillard's in late 1992. I believe this is the Dillard's that they're talking about. It was a full-time location without housewares until 1998, when the men's department relocated to the top floor of the former Polsky's space. When Dillard's took possession of the North Akron store, or the North store, sorry, the men's department and housewares relocated back to the South store. Macy's originally operated a suburban location of the Akron-based O'Neill's. Polsky's was another Akron department store that used to be located where Dillard's North is today. After it closed, a Dallas businessman proposed opening a laser tag facility in the basement of the former Polsky's. It's too bad they didn't do that, because I would like to play some laser tag. However, there's a Laser Quest maybe 5 minutes away from there. I'm pretty sure it's still there. I don't know. I haven't been there in a long time. Like most malls, Summit Mall used to include a movie theater. In July 1989, the National Theater Company closed the two-screen theater at the mall. A couple things about this mall. I moved to this side of town in 1999. I don't think I started going here until I was probably a junior in high school. I remember going here and using my first credit card, and you know, we used to go here, go to Spencer's or go to Hot Topic or whatever. It was a fun place to go, and it's a nice place to shop. I mean, I don't know. I think I'm old enough now where I don't think I would hang out at the mall even if it was a place people hung out. But it's interesting to walk through a mall like this that is actually doing well. It has stores that you can't find anyplace else in town. I mean, there's an Apple store in here. There's Sunglasses Hut. There's a Hollister, which we're walking by right now. And this is the other Dillard's location. This is the one where I'm actually not sure. I don't think I've ever been inside of a Dillard's like in my life, so if I have, I don't remember. But anyway, it's just crazy to kind of come into a mall that's doing well in 2018 and see, what it's like, because it seems like at least somebody like me who seeks out the malls that are struggling or going to be torn down or whatever. I mean, we have the entire spectrum here in my backyard, so it's kind of interesting. Here's the Apple store. I don't own any Apple products, so I don't ever go there, but there it is. That's a place that sells suits too. That place is pretty cool. But yeah, it's just kind of interesting. We have a whole spectrum of the mall process. We have Rolling Acres, which just got tore down. I mean, I think they just finished it like 2 months ago. And then Chapel Hill, which is like on the verge of being either going to come back in a big way or it's going to close down. And it's not looking good for Chapel Hill though, because they just lost Macy's 2 years ago. They lost Sears just last year, and then this year I think the holiday season wasn't as good as they thought it was going to be. A lot of the like pop-up stores that they had, like there was a Best Buy Express in there that's gone now. I covered some of this on my live stream that I did when I was there, but it's too bad. And then you walk through a place like this where there's just very few vacancies. There's people in there walking around, people with their families, and I mean, there's an FYE in here, there's Claire's in here. It's just like a mall in the 80s. It's really insane to me. And there's the Macy's. That's the other anchor store. There's also the only Macy's that's left in the Akron area, I believe. And I don't know if there's any other Dillard's either, because the only anchor store at Chapel Hill is JCPenney's. So yeah, I don't know. It's just strange to me, and a lot's changed. But this is the last kind of leg of the tour of the mall. We're walking back towards the food court now. Here's the FYE. It's funny because there's cuts in us walking in this now. It's because we actually went into some of these stores and like bought stuff. Like I went into Spencer's and bought something stupid. I went into FYE and I bought something else that was stupid. I don't know. I feel like the malls, like there's a Foot Locker. I think the only thing that keeps the malls in business really is selling clothes and shoes. And I think shoes are like a bigger deal. Because you go to Chapel Hill. I went to Chapel Hill and I bought some shoes. And there's a lot of places that are shop for shoes. That's like a lot of what that mall is now. But anyway, we're about to come around the corner here and be back in the food court. So, in summary, Summit Mall is a nice mall. I think it has a lot to do with where it's located. I think it has a lot to do with the people that own it, put a lot of money into it in the last maybe 10 years as far as like remodeling and updates and stuff. And if I would have thought about it, I would have walked back in the corridors, because I actually know the corridors in this mall because I used to work there. But there's not really much to see back there, just cinder block walls and conduit and plumbing and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It's nice that we can keep one mall going and that people actually still come here. So I'm gonna take us out within first it'll be a shot of the food court again, and you can see like all the skylights, how they're done. I think a lot of that was some of that was already there, but the front part, the really tall front part, was part of the remodel, the round thing in the front. And now we're coming out, and I'm gonna end with a nice aerial shot. This is the entire layout of the mall. It's a cool place. A lot of restaurants there in the front that you can get to from the outside. You can't actually get to some of those places from the inside, which is interesting. But that's Summit Mall. What's the last mall standing?